Welcome back everybody to the next part of our Demon Souls walkthrough. Now, just to recap the previous episode, we had beaten the armored spider and then I tried to go after one of the crystal lizards but ultimately decided not to because I didn't want to die within the world. So we just ended up going back to the Nexus and I just went ahead and repaired my weapons and armor. I deposited all the different chunks of upgrade materials like the hard stone, sharp stone shards, chunks, spider stone, all that kind of stuff that we had just picked up in the previous zone to stockpile Thomas, just that way we're not going to be over encumbered. And now I'm actually just going to go ahead and level up with the remaining souls that I have left.
Soul of the mind, key to life.
Still am not quite sure as to what type of build I guess I'm going to be doing, but for the meantime, let's just keep doing endurance and vitality. I guess it's really going to depend upon like what weapon I can find, and I guess like what would be most suitable for a new player to utilize. But as always, I'm gonna go ahead and kill myself in the Nexus just so that way we don't die within a world, because I do want to see if I can get most of the worlds to at least pure white tendency. Here we go. Alright, so now let's just go ahead and tackle this zone. But now that we have the Crescent Falchion from when we first came here, these skeletons are going to be a lot easier. And because we've been upgrading our health and stamina, our vitality and endurance is what they're called. We're going to have a lot easier of a time in this zone. Come on, I'm trying to pull you. Ah, crap. Typically, when you're going against the skeletons, if you would just strafe to the right, you seem to avoid like that stab attack that they do. Let's see if I can pull them down. You avoid that stab attack as well as that overhand slash, and then you can sometimes pull off a backstab depending on your positioning. This guy. Okay. Let's be careful so we don't pull both of these guys. Alright, I don't know what you're swinging at. Take a couple days off from like recording anything of Demon Souls and I'm like completely terrible at it. Jeez, I just gotta kick off the rust. Okay, alright, is that pressure plate? Alright, the pressure plate it's back up, so same thing, just touch it, hold your shield up, and look to the right. You'll slouch forward and then we won't get hit by those arrows. But I want to be really greedy here, and I'm going to go kill this red-eyed skeleton, because I think it gives us like maybe 1,000 or 2 souls. Let's see, I'll just be safe. There we go. Perfect. Alright, 1,227, so that's not bad, especially off of an enemy like that. Alright, more soul remains. You can just use that. You can throw it in a certain area, or like just use it to attract enemies. They'll walk towards it, and I think they'll start attacking like that area that you throw it to. But let's go up here. We're gonna take out those darn archers that were shooting at us. But we got another skeleton. Good news, at least, like, fighting them in a confined space, they do, like, all their little cartwheels and flippy-flippy kind of shit. Can't we'll worry about those archers later since I just knocked them down. But let's go this way. Now, I think there's a trap underneath this, or like at the bottom of this. There should be another pressure plate. Yeah, there's a pressure plate right there. So we are going to be really careful because I think it actually shoots out spikes from all different directions. And we picked up the copper key, which we're going to use to release an NPC in this area who eventually will act as a vendor and sell some pretty good stuff that we could use. But let's go back. Let's make a right here instead. And now we're basically just going to have to go down. And once we go down, there's no other way to get back up beyond just going forward. Like, we have to loop around completely. You'll see there's a skeleton at the end of the hallway. Just be careful, okay? Sometimes I've parried these guys, but it's just better to allow them to strike like your shield and have it bounce off, and then once they're staggered from that, then go ahead and do your attack. Otherwise, they can kind of stun lock you. And it's a real pain in the butt. But there's another skeleton. As soon as you come through, he'll be to the right, down the down this set of stairs, and I believe we can actually strike this. Yep. We strike that, and that's actually what's going to lead us to using the copper key. So let's, I guess, yeah, let's go down here first. Just keep your shield up. I don't really remember this area too well. Oh no, I don't remember this at all. I think there's something around the corner. Oh, that's a dead end. What am I doing? There should be, there you go. There should be like a branching path here, and I think there's two of them. Alright, I see the sword of one, and there's the other. Ah, crap. Okay. This may be the time that we have to use the soul remains just to pull them, and then I'm just gonna swing my sword like a lunatic. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. Come on, attack. Alright, you know what? Screw it. Ugh! Just two-hand your sword and start swinging. Very reckless. Very, very reckless, but we did it. There we go. Let's go ahead and keep going on. Pick up some crescent moongrass. And if you make a right here, this is actually where we're going to use that copper key. There we go. And you'll see there's an NPC here.
Whew, you saved me. Heavens, I can't believe I fell for that trap. I suppose I owe you now. I'm Grave Robber Blige. As thanks, I can provide you with useful goods. Who couldn't do with a little help down in these parts?
I don't think he really has anything. Well, shard of cloudstone. But we're not going to use that right now.
Nothing suits your fancy. Well,
okay. But at least we found him, the Grave Robber Blige, and then he will show up, I think, right near when we get to like the second boss of this zone. Like, he's not going to show up for the first boss. There you go. Strike that again, and now let's touch forward again. Or lead to the left. This should bring us out behind the tutorial boss right there. But let's go back just to be thorough. Instead of going down like we did into this dungeon area, I actually want to go up. There's actually another NPC. It's a bird that I believe you can like leave items and then save and quit. And when you come back, depending on the item that you had given the bird, sometimes the bird will give you something in return, or like you'll have a new item there given to you. So let's go ahead and do that. But I want to take out all these enemies first. Alright, compound bow. That way we don't have to buy anything. Let's go up though. Now Now, I believe there's also going to be a crystal lizard around here that we need to get the drop on. Just because, like I was saying before, there you go, this is the bird.
Scary!
Yep. We're not actually going to trade anything, but I believe if you just drop it like right near the tree, right near the nest, and you save, quit, and then reload, as long as you select a particular item that the crow wants, which I think there's lists that you can find on the internet. I don't remember them off the top of my head. You'll get an item in return. But I guess maybe I'll do that once in the playthrough, just so that way I can show you how it works. But there should be a crystal lizard. There he is. Right at the bottom of this. So let's just walk off. We'll quickly grab this item, and then we're gonna drop down, and we're gonna kill it. There you go. Got him just in time. But like I said, just when you're two-handing your weapon, go ahead and do the the right trigger attack, just because it seems to stun the lizard. Alright, there we go. Shard of Dark Moonstone, Chunk of Dark Moonstone. I believe you need that to upgrade a weapon to like the Crescent upgrade path, like we have here for the Falchion. So that's definitely valuable. I don't think I'm going to be focusing on that upgrade, but it's definitely worthwhile to you know, upgrade this weapon for the meantime if we have enough material. Just because this, we're definitely relying on this weapon to help us out. Alright, we picked up the Uchi Katana, which is just like a samurai sword. Now we have the surprise. Oh no, I didn't learn from the tutorial, I just got struck. Whew. Whew. Alright, and because we are wearing the thief ring, that's why the demon did not come after us. But also, be careful. There's like stingrays that are in the air, that are flying. They shoot like I don't know. There's some kind of projectile. They're like a spear-looking thing. So usually there'll be like you'll hear the sound followed by the shot. But I guess because we are wearing the thief ring, just missed to get hit. That may be why they're not shooting that often at us. But this is going to be essentially a war of attrition against this guy. He's got a lot of health, and we're applying the bleed effect to him. So as you see, he's just losing 2 health per second, which is good. But man, it's just going to take a while. So just be patient. Make sure you don't get hit by that butt slam. So I guess even when you know you're not going to get hit by this boss, sometimes having your shield up, just because of those darn stingrays, just you could get shot by one. Come on! Yes. Alright. We took him down. I'm just going to keep moving around so that way I don't get shot, as well as I do want to kill those archers that we had pushed off the edge initially. Just to get those souls. And where's the other one? I thought we pushed off too. Where? Okay. Anybody see Fred? Forget it. Akiji, which is, I think, just another curved sword, but I think it does require a little bit more strength and dexterity to wield. I have used that, and it's a pretty decent weapon. I think it also does apply bleed, but we just picked up the Great Demon Soul, and you know what, I think I may just do like a strength build for this. I'm just going to grab a big axe. I'm going to upgrade it until I think it like +6 or 7, I think, and then once we get to one of the blacksmiths that we had met in Zone 2-1 with the elevator, as long as we trade in the boss soul and we have a weapon that's upgraded to a certain degree and it's compatible, you can actually get a boss weapon. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I think I talked about it earlier in this playthrough. It's called the Dozer Axe. it hits like an absolute truck. It actually sends enemies flying, I think, if you do like the heavy attack. Which to me was always funny. Oh no! There you go. Sweet. Bladestone. I'm getting a lot of drops this run. I usually don't get that many. But that shield, the Adjudicator shield, the one that gives you health over time, should be, I believe, right near that red-eyed skelly. Let's see if we can not get hit. Do a pitiful 54 damage up a backstab. I don't ever really recommend fighting these guys head-on just because they do a lot of damage. I'm just trying to circle around them, and then when I see the opening, I'll attack them from behind and try to get that backstab. But there it is, Adjudicator shield. So let's go ahead and put that on. And now, hopefully we should get... Yep, as you can see, like just looking at my health, it is slowly going up by like probably 1 or 2 points per second. It is very slow, but I think there's another ring that you can actually equip. I think it's like the Regenerator's ring. It also heals you over time. But tell you what, let's do the same thing. We'll touch that and then lean forward. There we go. So we don't get hit. I don't think there is really anything this way beyond. I think the boss is that way. So let's finish out this area. Then we're gonna go take out the boss, and then we'll wrap up the episode there. But there should be a ladder here. Yep. Well, let's climb up the ladder very, very slowly. And let's go across. I believe there's also going to be a crystal lizard again that we gotta rush and kill, and I think it's more dark moonstone. But as you saw, now we're back to full health, which is awesome. So this is definitely, I think it's gonna be a favorite to a lot of new players. But alright, I think that was it. That's all we had to do, at least right there. We will be able to loop around to like that item over here. We just have to go straight towards the boss, and then that area will be available to us. So let's go ahead and do that now. I don't think there's really anything else around here that we need to worry about. Still, just go ahead, keep your shield up, because those dang stingrays. But now I think there's also going to be at least like 1 or 2 large skeletons around this corner. I got hit by that, darn it. If you have a bow or like magic, oh shoot, I need to do that. I'm at the heal. As you saw, there was a skeleton around the corner. That's probably good enough. There's a skeleton. They're wielding like a large cleaver. Just be careful. They can hit really hard, so it's probably easier to see if we just knock them off the edge if possible. But definitely keep your shield up. Oh, when you can. I need to heal, but I'm panicking. Just to be safe. Sometimes like baited them into like doing that swing, and then when they can't attack, that's when I'll move in and strike. Like you just saw that there. That seemed to work pretty well. But then again, these damn the projectiles that you get shot at here, it's a real pain. Yes, spam R1 for the win. Alright, Bladestone. Whenever you hear like that noise, just go ahead and start moving in another direction. Just because you don't want to get hit by the projectile. Off you go! Get off! This is Sparta! There we go. And then, now we should be, we're close to the boss, but there's a couple items I want to pick up first, so let's go ahead and do that. Tell you what, I want to go, there's a crystal lizard around here, so that's why two-hand your weapon, and then Run, get him. Where do you think you're going? I'm just gonna let you run to the edge and strike you. Oh no, crap. Except I don't want to fall off the edge myself. Oh, come on, man. Oh, jeez. Alright, well that's freaking frustrating. I kept hitting the wall. But as long as you can get the drop on them, there you go. That's the other ring I was talking about, the Regenerator's ring. You'll slowly regenerate health over time. So if you have like this shield on, you put on that ring. I think even if you put on like a blessed weapon, which is a weapon that's like, it's more, it scales off of faith. I think that also regenerates your health over time. So you can really have a have like an invincible build as long as you're smart about keeping your shield up and not taking too much bursty damage at once. But let's keep moving on. I really, man, I get so frustrated by those darn crystal lizards. There's been so many times, like I said, I've missed them that it just irks me so much. But let's walk off. We're gonna walk the plank, then go on up. Let's see what we get. Grave Robber's Ring. I believe that item makes you harder to detect by Black Phantoms. Become harder for Black Phantoms to detect. So I think this is really, it's most useful for when you're in, like, if you were invaded by another player, as well as, like, if you get your world to pure black tendency, you'll have, like, Black Phantoms that, not invade, but they'll show up. And I guess it's probably easier just to use that to kind of sneak around them. But I don't think we're going to really encounter any within this zone itself. There will be one that we encounter, I think, at like zone 3-1, I want to say, before we get to the boss. So I may put that on just to see how well it works. But let's go. Get smart here. Die. Coming up on the boss. This boss, it's not hard by any means, as long as you just stay out of the way. The boss has a very, very large cleaver, and the boss, similar to like the Tower Knight, you have to strike it in a certain area in order to make it vulnerable, to like make him fall down. So he actually has a wound in his belly, and we need to attack that specific spot where he has the wound. And then once we do enough damage, he'll actually fall down, and then we can actually strike the boss in the head. So let's just go ahead and do that. There should be a couple items up top. I wouldn't worry about them too much, just because when the boss is dead, you should be able just to climb back up. So we're just going to go ahead and there's the wound that you need to focus on. You'll hear the slicing noise, but if you strike his belly, and when you see him wind up, just go ahead and strafe to the right. You'll stay safe. If you don't strike the appropriate spot, you'll hear like a rubber noise, like boom, 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 kind of noise, like bouncing off his belly, and you won't actually do any damage. It'll like ricochet off him. But now you just gotta keep striking his head. It looks like the head is a bird. But let's just wait, just because we are carrying a large shield, and I think that actually is going to impede our stamina regeneration. But just taking pot shots in the meantime, and then when you see him wind up, definitely get to his right, just because you don't want to get struck by that. I don't think you can block it, and it does a lot of damage. Alright, so when he falls, probably two-handed, that may be easier, just to do more damage at once. Probably better just to wait for your stamina to regen just a little bit, so you can pull off at least a couple hits like I just did. But now that... There we go. We were in the corner, so I at least was able to go to the left, underneath his left arm, like right here, and I was invulnerable to his damage. That's also a good way, just in case you can't strafe to the right, like I'm getting caught again because of the staircase. So just keep going ahead and doing that. Get him to turn, like position himself. There we go. I'm just gonna have to do it one more time. And I want to see if I can get him to turn. There we go. He turned, and now we're gonna go ahead and start doing that strafing method again. So like I said, this boss is not really hard. It's just trying to make sure that you don't position yourself in a bad way by getting struck by that cleaver. Because, like I said, it does a lot of damage. I was like, I wasn't striking the right spot. Maybe I did once. Okay. There we go. Right on. Alright friends, so we just took down the Adjudicator. We have a pretty decent shield. We just revived, so I'll make sure that I go back to the Nexus. I'll spend my souls, as well as I'm probably going to kill myself in the Nexus, just so we can continue doing our pure white walkthrough. But I guess before I go, let's just go ahead and try to pick up the items that are scattered around in the boss zone. So we just picked up a soul from a storied hero, I think it was. I believe there's a stone of ephemeral eyes. This might be it. Yep, that's it. I don't think there was anything else. There's nothing down there that I can see, but just to be sure. Okay, I don't think there's, like I said, I don't think there's anything else beyond that, but let's just go all the way to the top just to be thorough. And then we will end it there. I don't see anything. Okay, that's I think that's gonna do it. All right, friends, I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. All right, take care now.